Welcome to Global Risk Community Chat. Today, our guest is Thomas Krause. I'm very happy to have you here today in our podcast, Thomas. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Likewise. Can you briefly introduce yourself to our audience?
Sure. So I'm trained in clinical and experimental psychology, and I have been working in the area of organizational culture, in particular, how it relates to safety, to catastrophic events, and to individual employee injuries for the last 50 years or so.
That's a very long time and very long expertise. Well, let's then jump into our topic, which will be, I assume, about, of course, like leadership, safety, and culture change, and a mix of those. So, what is the usual response from, like leadership following a workplace accident?
So it depends on how severe it is. If it's a small event, a twisted ankle or a bruise, the response is usually, this is something we have to deal with. It's kind of a nuisance. If it is a serious injury or a fatality or a number of fatalities, then the response is usually quite different. It would be better if even the small events were taken more seriously when they have potential. So there are different kinds of small injuries. There are those that are small and they only could be small. But there are also small injuries that could have been very, very serious. And making that distinction is important, and it's often not recognized.
So, and a follow up on that, then, why is it that, like leaders kind of inquire or the way, like the response generally misses the mark in solving the, overall problem?
Well, it's a matter of awareness, of realizing what the actual situation is. If you look at it as the end point, you have a guest, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, my cat decided to visit. I guess she also found the conversation interesting.
Must have been, yeah. Yeah, so if you think of the incident as simply the end point, then you probably go off in the wrong direction. It's better to see the broader picture and to think about what is it that could have happened, and then what were the things that were missing that allowed it to happen, to taking each one very seriously.
So then, what needs to happen to, ensure culture contributes to the upward communication? Like what are the things that needs to happen? Like what should leaders do?
Right. So upward communication is a variable in the culture or an attribute of the culture, which has been studied a lot. And it is often related to something called perceived organizational support, which has also been studied a lot. And those two things together cover a lot of ground in the safety field, but they're not really recognized. I mean, they come out of the scientific literature, and the safety people don't really read that literature. So the opportunity to make improvements is often lost just by lack of knowledge and lack of awareness. The importance of upward communication is that the people who can make decisions to address an issue are not the people who are very close to the work. The people who are actually doing the work, who are very close to it, can see things that are very important. But if the information that they have doesn't flow up to the people who can make decisions about it, then the hazard just continues. Uh, so it's crucially important that the people that have the capacity to make decisions get close to the work. Now, that's known in areas like quality. So there are Gemba walks, for example, which are taken these days as a given. That's what we're supposed to do as leaders. We're supposed to get out there and see the work and talk to the people and see what is really going on. Um, but that may or may not get to the safety issue. And if it doesn't get there, then there will be exposure, and eventually there will be incidents. And if they're with that the potential, they'll eventually be serious ones.
Yeah. Thank you for that too. So then tying kind of all together, how does improving culture equate with lifting the safety performance?
Right. So there are a number of variables like the two that I've just described that are predictive of safety outcomes and also predictive of performance outcomes more generally. By that, I mean productivity, quality, turnover, absenteeism, many variables. So if you improve safety by improving the culture, then you not only get the benefit of better safety, but you get the benefit of better performance more broadly.
Thank you so much. So, well, that was all my questions for today. So, is there anything you like to add?
Uh, no, I don't think so. I think that covers the basic ideas.
Yeah, then that sounds good. So once again, I want to thank you so much for, joining us today, sharing your insights, Thomas, and it was very delightful to have you.
Okay, thank you. Nice to talk to you.
Likewise, have a great day.